Today, on Knitting with Sarah, we're going to learn how to sew a seam that has both knits and purls in it. For supplies, you're going to need a darning needle and a fairly long piece of yarn. This would be the yarn that you use to create your project. Let's take a look at the two swatches that I've created. Here we've got a basic 4x4 checkerboard pattern. What that means is that I've done 4 purls, 4 knits, 4 purls, 4 knits, 4 purls. And then we've got 4 rows up of the exact same patterning. On the 5th row we switch, so that is what creates the checkerboard. On the bottom swatch here we have 2 rows of the knitted, 2 rows of the purl, 2 rows of the knitted, 2 rows of the purl, and 2 rows of the knitted. The top swatch has the same thing, knit, purl, and knit. The goal of our seam today is that when we put our pieces together, we're going to have a piece that goes in complete continuity. There shouldn't be very much notice of a seam there at all. So let's start by looking at the edge of our work. We don't want to sew into the selvage because that's not going to give us quite the result we're looking for. We want something seamless and quite pretty. So when we look at our knitting, we notice that it's made up of V's. On the bottom, we want to start in the middle of an open V. So you can see we've got the right leg and the left leg here. So we're going to bring our needle up through that V, and then we're going to go to the top swatch. And we're going to look at the columns. So we've got a perfect V right there. We're going to grab both sides of that perfect V, both the right leg and the left leg, pull our yarn through. Then we're going to go back to the bottom swatch. Once we get to this bottom swatch, we want to go back in the hole that we came out of. So we're going to go in through that hole, and we're going to go up through the next hole, and that is the next V, so the center of the V. We've got an upside down V on our needle right now, which is the right leg and the left leg. We're going to pull through, and then we're going to go back up to the top, and we have to go back in the hole that we came out of. And then we're going to grab a right side V, so right leg and left leg again. And we're going to pull that through. Then we're going to go back down to the bottom, go in through the hole that we came out of, and go up through the next one. Again, we're always aiming to go in through the next V. So going out of the last V and up through the next V. We're going to pull. Now, the big secret to doing this is that we don't ever want to pull too tight. If we pull too tight, it's not going to turn out very nice because it's going to be all bunched and that'll look all puckered. So when we get to this part where we've got half of a V left and then we've got purls, we want to just go in through the last hole that we came out of, and then we're going to come up right underneath this purl bump. And bring our yarn in, there we go. On this side, on the right side, or the top for you guys, we're going to look and we're going to grab this purl bump right there. Go down and do the bottom purl bump, and all you're doing is just imitating the purls. This part we do want to pull a bit tighter because that is where we're going to hide our yarn in there. So we can do it even in a weird color like purple here, and we're not even going to see our work except for on the inside. So go all the way across the purl bumps. And as you can see, if we take a look at it, we've got our knits all nicely lined up, and then we've got our purls all nicely lined up. Then we can go back onto doing the knit V's again. So here I'm coming out of a V stitch already. And on the top, we just want to grab a right side up V. So let's take a look. We don't want to grab this guy because he's going upside down. So we want to grab this guy right here. See how he's going perfectly right side up? So we're going to pull that. Then we're going to go back down through the hole that we came from. We're going to grab the upside down V, both sides, both right and left leg. And that part we're going to want to make look just like we did over here, how you can see the V's. We're going to go back to the top, we go in through the hole that we came out of, and then we go back down to the bottom, go in through the hole we came out of, go back up through the top, grab the top V to the bottom, grab the bottom V. As you can see, it lines up fairly well. Now, if we were to take a piece of thread that was the same color as our work, we would be able to do this so that you wouldn't even see where we had been. So if I come out of the hole where my purple thread left off, I can finish off this seam in red, and you can see what I mean. So again, when we're switching from the knits to the purls and the purls to the knits, we want to make sure that we're still lining things up properly. So we want to come up and we want to grab that purl bump. So that would be the purl bump right next to the seam. It's not the self edge or your cast off edge, but it is right next to it. Same deal on the bottom. Here's our cast off edge, here's the purl bump, and all we're doing is we're going down and up, imitating that stitch. And bring that in. We go to the top side. There's our cast off edge. We're not going to grab it, but we're going to go right underneath that purl bump. Back to the bottom, go down through the hole that we came through, grab the purl, pull it in, and again remember that when we're doing purls we can pull a bit tighter because of the fact that we want to kind of hide everything into it. We don't want the yarn to show like we do with the knits, because the knits we're creating that stitch, but the purls we're just hiding it. So I'm going up and then down, there we go. That finishes off that purl section right there. Then when we get to the knit section, again we want to make sure that we're going to come out of this V right here, and we're going to grab this top V. So the first V that it makes a perfect column. Then we're going to go back down, in through the hole that we came out of, up through the next V. Don't want to pull your yarn too tight. Go up to the top, grab the next V. Go to the bottom, grab that V, the upside down V, go back up to the top, and we're almost at the very edge of our work, and I'll show you how to finish that off. Go back to the bottom, do the next V. Now when we get to the end, it always looks like, oh, we're done, but we're not. We actually still have one stitch left to do, so we always want to make sure that we don't forget to do him right on the edge there. Grab him, pull him through, and then we can weave in our ends. But as you can see, we get a perfect result where it looks like purls and then knits and then purls and then knits and then purls and knits. It doesn't look like there's a seam there at all. If you do find that you have a bit of trouble switching from purls to knitting, take a look at the first couple of videos and that should help you out. Have fun!